Awesome. I'm so excited.
Hey.
Thanks, guys, for joining us again. Thanks, guys, for coming together again. I'm so excited about this topic. This is actually probably going to be one of my favorite. I know I'm just speaking, right. Yeah. But I think this might be my favorite topic only because it's just so positive. So today's topic is blessed. Blessed. I'm trying to sing the song and I couldn't. Anywho, so today we have Henreatta and we also have Myisha and myself, MeShawn. Hey. All right, so today, for starters, I would love to always start with this, starting from where you're bread and buttered. So if we can all do our brief intro, that would be awesome. Let's do it.
Love it. Henreatta, at Henry Monet. Bread and buttered here in Detroit, West Side, West 7 Mile, all day, 7 Mile, better mile, get out and live.
All of it.
All of it, okay? All of it. So, yeah, that's me.
She about that life. That's what that means.
Period.
And she blessed.
Okay. Real traveler, but I'm always claim to dig. You know
there
it.
you go.
Well, Myisha, I guess I'll do my Instagram too, Miss Henreatta. __ Myisha, MYISHA. And I am bread and butter in Detroit.
Hey. Yay. So I'm MeShawn, and I'm bread and butter from Detroit. We're not living there right now, but we're from the D, born and raised, bread and butter. All of that. And then I guess my Instagram, it's my name.
Bread and butter. Oh, okay. Yep, that one too.
It's my name _L. Anywho, so today we're talking about blessed. I'm so excited about this again because we get to talk about past experiences. We get to talk about our current experiences and where we plan on going, and also just talk about our testimonies. I love that, or something that you're happy about. You could be blessed about today in Detroit. It was warm. Okay?
Did you see the sun?
It was warm out.
Yes.
That's
snow
a blessing.
was melting and everything.
You know, I woke up and didn't see no snow in the street. I was like, yes.
What are you doing?
I know. The sun was out this morning.
Yeah.
No.
I noticed that. No, this morning when I was in my kitchen, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, days are getting longer.
I know.
Days are getting
it's
longer.
It's like 5 something right now. It's about to be 6 and it's
and it's not super dark.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're getting to the summer.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on, spring solstice. We see you coming.
One thing and I want to ask both of you too, right now in your current life, what's something that you guys are proud of, or what's something that you could say as a testimony? I know a lot of people, they don't really have a lot to be thankful for. If they don't think about it, I guess it's just perspective. But what's something you could say that you're thankful for right now in your life? Or you can just give a testimony.
Well, for me, just this past Friday, payday.
Hey.
So, I don't know,
that raise came through.
Shut up. No, I ain't getting no raise. You remember, bro, that's a continuation from Messy Part 1. But we ain't about to go there anyways. No, so growing up, my mom always forced me and my brother to go to all these bank seminars, financial stuff, and we hated it.
I love it.
Now I'm 25, almost 26, and I just had so much thankfulness that thank you, God. Payday, I automatically pay my bills, pay my tithes, and then I still have leftover to live my life. When I go to the store, I'm not counting pennies or pinching pennies. My bills always paid on time. My car note actually paid 3 months in advance, and I'm still paying it because I'm I don't want to pay interest. Okay, let's pay this down. If I can pay this off this year, I'm trying to.
I know that's
so
right.
I'm just thankful for God making my mom, well, not making, but letting my mom invest in us, even though we ain't like it, in the way that she did, because now I get to feel blessed, because unlike my friends or other people I know who are struggling. Me? I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I'm just so thankful because
a blessing.
Yeah, but I'm just thankful that I can pay my bills, and even though I'm not where I want to be at financially, I'm comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I'm freaking still able to, like, travel. I'm going to Hawaii next week. Like, granted, I'm not paying for the hotel. My mom and stepdad took care of that. But, like, I was able to
But
buy
still.
my flight.
But you
and
going though.
I'm not.
And that flight is not cheap.
It's not.
Hawaii
It's
is
not.
not
Even though I
cheap.
did get it on cheap, I only paid $5.90 for my flight.
That's
That's,
good.
that's
so-
someone's rent, okay? And
True,
don't try to
true,
belittle that. That
true,
is somebody's
true.
rent.
True.
You know?
Yeah, but I'm just thankful to be able to financially, like, provide for myself and be okay. My credit is good, you know, like.
Come on.
Come through, mama, though. Like,
Yeah.
shout
Yes.
out to her for,
Yeah.
you know,
Investing.
that, yeah, just showing that you guys, showing to you guys that financial responsibility is something that you should really
Yeah.
be, you know, into, like, at a young age, because not a lot of parents doing that, especially people from Detroit. Sorry, but like,
It's true.
people out here,
Yeah.
they're really not.
They don't have the knowledge,
That's
you know,
true.
to
Yeah.
be able to invest that information into, you know, our youth. I mean, where am I going to get it from if it was never given to me? I don't even
Exactly.
know to look, you know,
Yeah.
or where. So yeah,
Just
absolutely.
trying to figure out what you need to figure out. Like,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Where do you start?
yeah.
At the
Behind
So
seminar?
kudos.
girl.
Kudos. Yes.
Yes.
So for me, blessed. Blessed. What? One, I'll start with gratitude. Actually, one thing that I've been doing recently is making a gratitude list. So each
I love it.
day I'll write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, right? And it just really reinforces that perspective of being grateful and thankful and just happy for all of the little things that you have.
Yes,
You know, no
absolutely.
matter how big or small it is, whether it was, you know, I woke up this morning to me being able to make it and sit right here with you guys today, right? So every little thing along the way, and so much plays a role in that. You know, it plays a role in what blessing means to, or blessings mean to us, and what we do with those, right? So I love that you brought up really just financial security, right?
Yes.
Because so many people lack it right now, and with it just being generational, or you know, things that are going on just out in the world right now, and just all of these different matters, it's so important. It is crucial for us to understand that as just young adults, right? So that is definitely something that I am just extremely blessed for, being in a place financially where I know, you know, I really don't have to stress over things. I don't have to, you know, be like, oh my God, how am I going to stretch this and how am I going to make this work? Because, I mean, and that's no shade on anyone, because, shoot, I certainly remember those days. You know what I mean? Like, I remember,
real.
you know,
College students.
yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. So
I was
you
living off the credit card.
come on now, like
Somebody
I
will
remember
tell
that
you.
as good as yesterday. I remember eviction notices on the door, you know. So I just some years ago I was not able to say, oh well, you know, now I own multiple properties, and now I've, you know, bought my mom, you know, bought my mom a house,
You
and
did,
like little things like that. Yeah. So like when you're just it's not that, but it's understanding that knowledge base that, you know, some of us were given that access, granted that access, and some of us had no idea, right? So really just leveraging the resources that we have, whether it's because it was instilled in us or because it's something that maybe we saw from afar and just, you know, aspired to figure this out, right?
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, work through it on our own, or just the fear of not having anything. I know so many people, close friends that I grew up with, who didn't have it like that. You know what I mean? Whether it was a single parent home or whether it was just a lot to split between, you know, quite a few siblings, they didn't have it like that, but are doing very, very well within their, you know, within their respective fields.
Yes.
And I think it's beautiful, but sometimes we have to, like, I can't throw shade on anyone, because sometimes that's how gems are born. You know what I mean?
know
just
what?
just those rough circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, man, we had to do this, we had to do that. It's that hunger, that dog, that fight.
That
you know what I
fight,
mean?
yes.
Yeah. So, and when you make it out of those circumstances, it's just like, I mean,
I
it's
feel
a
like
blessing.
that builds character.
Absolutely.
That builds character
Absolutely.
and knowledge. You get information coming through the struggle. For real.
Come on now.
You know what I mean?
Trying to tell
I'm
y'all.
saying,
Yes.
I mean, I love what you said, especially with leveraging your resources. A lot of people don't realize even you could be the brokest of the broke and be able to leverage your resources.
Come on.
You don't even have to have money to leverage your
Yes.
resources and
True.
become successful at whatever it is that you're doing. The money will come.
Yeah.
But, you
Yes.
know, so I love that. Leveraging your resources is how somebody will be able to buy a house next year, just saving for it or just finding the knowledge. Because I feel like knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't, like, that's one thing that I'm thankful for is just the knowledge that I've gained just in the last year, the last
Yeah.
12 months, just learning different things. Heck, just being in this room right now, I'm thankful for that. You know,
Yeah.
like it's a big deal for me, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that, like, the small wins for one person could be huge. Like, it could be the mountains for
Yes.
another person,
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
So when you leverage your resources, I mean, I feel like that's a huge accomplishment in itself, especially if you're coming up. You may not have to have the most to get, you know, where you want to go.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it only takes that. And then I feel like a lot of people who come from, I'm sorry, I got to say, from the city of Detroit, don't realize that they may not be equipped with those resources that the next person is, but I feel like they're learning, or where you come from, you might learn certain things that the next person may not.
Oh, for
and then on that path of that you're taking to get to the next level, you are going to come through, you're going to learn things through that, you know, that experience that the next person wouldn't. So, and you be able to apply that to your career, apply that to your livelihoods. And I feel like that's a huge deal too. A lot of people, that's leveraging your resources. I mean, right there. I don't know.
Oh,
My
yeah,
mind is
for
just
sure.
going. But
For sure.
I'll just say my personal testimonial, or something that I'm just really happy about. Well, first I gotta say about my kids, because they here today.
Yes.
I will say that I love them. Today was their first day at school in Oak Park.
Oh, they're
Alright.
no school.
I was
Okay.
so nervous. I was
Yeah.
scared. Now, we grew up in Oak Park.
Yes, girl.
So
Oh,
they're coming from West Bloomfield School District, and they're going to Oak Park. I'm not trying to say there's a huge difference.
But
There's
it's like a
just
culture
but it's
shock.
there.
it's a
It
cultural
can be,
difference.
yeah, for sure.
Yes, my son just went. I mean, not trying to make this about race, but he just went from being in a class, the only black boy in his class,
Right.
to being in a class where it's all black people. Like, it's crazy. And I was just nervous because of the cultural difference. And I asked him, you know, after school today,
Yeah.
like, how did school go? He goes, this might be my favorite school. He was like,
That's so important.
I said, what?
That's so important.
Really? He said, I had a really good day, and the teachers are really nice.
Aw.
I said, what?
Yeah.
Really? So I went to the same school. It was he's at what they would call
What?
Roosevelt in our day.
Ooh, they changed Roosevelt? It ain't
Yes,
Roosevelt no
to
more?
Oak Park Academy. I know.
Really?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
thought
Yeah.
my school was still standing on.
You know, they changed it
It's a
to
new
Oak
one.
Park
Okay.
Preparatory Academy. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no. He said he had a really good day. I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, really?
Well, that's
Okay, we'll
good.
see, you know. So, I mean, and then my youngest son, I asked him how his day. He said it was amazing. I said, oh, wow, that's a stretch, but wow.
That's
you know?
beautiful. I think
Yeah.
that's absolutely beautiful.
So that's something to be really happy about, because, oh, trust me, I was a nervous wreck. When I was, my expectations were just completely different.
we
like,
yeah, we see.
I'm still blown away. I'm sorry. Like, I might call their dad, like, guess what? You know, like, you know, because just everything, just, I mean, down to the clothes, the attire, they had to wear dress code. Like, it was completely different. You know what I mean? They're coming from a school that didn't. You know, I think there was a difference in the pay for the lunch. Like, all these factors, you know what I mean? I was just not... first day. Anywho, so another thing that I can say I'm just really thankful for is my health.
Oh, yes.
I mean, this weekend I was sick. Like, I was sick. Like, I stayed in for the Super Bowl. I stayed in for church. I missed events. I missed work. Like, girl, I had to pass up on gigs, girl.
Oh,
You sound much better.
Thank you.
yeah.
No, but like, listen, she called me on the phone and I was dying, girl. I had the
man.
tea in my hand.
Maybe.
My mom had made me garlic tea the next day. I'm like, garlic? I know.
Wow.
She put everything in it, honey.
Blessing.
Right.
You got your voice back.
I know. I got my voice back, you know, because my voice was shot. Like, I sounded like, I don't know. I don't even know. I wanted to say the Joker off Dark Knight or something, you know. No, Batman.
I
You know,
got you. Yeah.
like, I'm seriously, it was just awful.
Yeah. Health
But
is important.
my health, I'm just so excited and so thankful for my health because, like, if you knew how I was feeling last Friday, you know that I'm just so appreciative and so thankful to be here today, even speaking
Yeah.
in the mic. So,
Blessed.
bless.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
All right,
yes.
so we'll move on from me because I feel like I'm just taking this too far. But one thing I want to talk about, like we were talking about Steve. Steve. I don't Steve.
Well, his name is Steven, but he prefers Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to share his testimonial real quick. He mentioned the fact that he was blessed recently, and he went to the casino. He said after work, he said he went down the street to Motor City,
Okay.
and he said he hit the jackpot.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
I know, right?
Okay.
He's the head chef here.
Stop telling all his business.
I know.
He probably don't want people coming looking for
You
him.
know what? I'm not gonna.
We done gave his government.
I said the story. The story.
I'm not gonna say how much he won, but he hit the jackpot. Okay.
Wow. Before
Now,
coming to work.
Bless
After-
They better be
after work
Oh,
that
he's
day.
still here.
Wait, but he here.
Oh no, he here, but this was another day.
We get
Oh,
This
yeah.
was
okay.
recently though, because he was
Okay.
like, yeah, I gotta share this with you, so when you
Aw.
could share it if you want to. This was right
Yeah.
before, you know.
Okay.
And so he was like, yeah, man, after I left out, you know, because at that point he didn't share how much he had won. You know, he goes, after I left out, you know, this guy, he was just asking me for money, you know, and I was just like, sounds like Detroit. It's, you know, downtown rather, not Detroit, but downtown. He was like, yeah, well, you know, this guy asked me for money and I gave him $20 and he was just so happy.
Yes.
Like, he was just so thankful, and that just made me so happy. And I know all three of us do charity work.
Yeah.
All three of us, you know,
Yeah.
we're philanthropists, I guess you could say.
Yes,
yes.
And so
small but growing.
exactly.
Yes.
So we all know what it feels like to give.
Yeah.
Come
You know, it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding to get that. And I mean, just to get that energy back too.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to give you anything, but I feel like just their gratitude is good enough. You know, it makes you. It's just so rewarding. I don't know.
Yes.
I know you were telling me that you went and you were working. You were doing charity last week, right? Or was it the week before?
Girl.
I'm so sorry. I just
Listen,
put you out
my
there 'cause
days
you
are
do-
so busy. I literally have to take one day at a time. I can't tell you what I did yesterday.
Oh
'cause
my God.
My calendar guides me, but I have done some recent like charity work. Like,
Yeah.
I went out with FX Church, and we served the community in what is the house called? It's in Cass Corridor. That place, I can't remember the name of it, but we pretty much just set up some tables, handed out some pizzas, gave them little care
Is
packages.
that the one with all the painting on it? It's
No,
like the
it doesn't
colorful
have
house?
painting on it. It's 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 where most people that are homeless stay. I can't think of the name of it.
It's not the Mission, is it?
What is it called? What's the name of it?
Like DRM.
I think it is like the DM something, whatever.
Acronym.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like we just went in front of there, set up some tables, and just started handing stuff out to people. And then they had like the prayer warriors, where if people wanted to pray.
Oh, nice.
But also something I actually been trying to figure out how I want to word it to encourage like my peers to do it. I keep snacks and like drinks or like food that I've gotten but don't really want in my car. And when I see a homeless person, if I don't have food, if I don't have money, I'll at least give them food.
Oh, I love that.
Some days, like if I make myself a lunch, I'll make an extra lunch. And I'm starting to pay more attention to, okay, what corners do I see people on? So if I know I drive that way, let me grab an extra snack or something to give to them. Because I know since I live alone now, I don't eat food as quickly as I used to when I had people staying with me. So I'm like, well, instead of me letting it waste and having to throw it away,
Before that bread go bad, girl.
Okay,
Make a
like
sandwich.
I had some bread going bad, so when it like not bad yet, but before it went bad, I made a whole bunch of sandwiches, and then like sometimes I'll just give a few sandwiches to a homeless person, like share with somebody else, you know, because how good would that make them feel to not only get something but have something to share with somebody else, and not necessarily be sacrificing too much themselves.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
Absolutely
I love it.
beautiful. I love that you do that. I commend you wholeheartedly. It's so necessary, and just when you think about being a blessing, being blessed, and being in a space where you're able to bless others. Is something that's so powerful within itself, and then granting other people the opportunity to do the same. Right?
Absolutely.
It is something that's very rewarding. Just because I thought of it. So, quick story. Now, if I don't have cash, that's something I'll do too, right? Like if I have like just a random, it might be a bag of chips, it might be some leftovers, something super
That
random.
granola bar that's been sitting
So,
there.
here you go, no problem. So I'm driving on the Lodge, okay? I'm coming from Southfield, and I was coming from the Five Guys that was out there. This was a while ago. And so, you know how they used to like dump the whole basket of fries in your bag? Now they just do the little cups. So I had my sandwich, and I had like all of these fries in here. And so I get to a corner or whatever, and it's a gentleman there. He's holding a sign, and I rolled down my window. I said, I don't have any cash, but I have some food. Like, here's some food for you. And when I tell you, this man threw the bag in my car, I was like, I don't want this. What I'm gonna do with these fries? I'm like, dang, I am out here trying to be a whole blessing on your life.
He could have just gave it to somebody.
But no. He yelled at me. He was like, what I'm gonna do with these fries? They was Cajun fries too. I'm like, what? But that part is sad, because we all people, we all got our personalities. I don't remember what his sign said.
Because sometimes I read they signs beforehand.
will.
Because if it only say money, or if it don't say anything to help, or food or something. Yeah. I mean, not that I discriminate. I usually roll my window down and say, I don't have any money. I got food. Yeah. Kind of like asking them, do they want it? Because just because they out there don't necessarily mean they homeless. They might just be jobless. And, like, you never know. Or they might.
It's a job.
It's a whole lot of, and it is a job.
Panhandling is a job. I'm sorry.
Panhandling is a job. Very true, because it takes a lot to do it. Absolutely.
And they schedule who gonna be on what corner.
No, I'm serious. No, they're territorial, girl. Yeah. That's like trapping on the corner for some
You did not.
They're territorial.
Trapping.
No, I'm serious. Okay, listen, for many people who know this about me, I eat. You too. No, I used to deal phones. Okay.
Yes, I remember.
Who was I dealing phones to?
Yeah. The people that were in need.
Those people who were on the corner.
Absolutely.
Okay. They would come to me with their signs.
Yeah.
And they would pull out their bridge card. They would pull out whatever, exactly. So, or some of them will pull out their Social Security information. You see how much they making with Social Security. Thing about it is, panhandling is not taxed money. You don't have to report that income. Oh, you might as well say you're your own business and you have a 1099. Like, I'm serious. These people, this is really a territorial thing, because if one person, I remember seeing two panhandlers get into a fight. and then seeing the aftermath of that fight, because I had no choice but to still be posted where I was.
Oh, because you were working.
Yeah, I'm the phone girl.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching these people fight over the corner, though. This is a popular intersection. Yes, because here's what it was. So this guy was trying to get this lady to move, and she wouldn't move. Now, she was new, apparently, according to what he was saying. She was new to the area. And so she had just came and just took anybody's corner. She wasn't really paying attention to who was there beforehand. She just knew she got there first. So they're going back and forth. He just calling her, you old hag, all of this other good stuff. And she was just not having it. She wasn't leaving. So he was ready to fight her.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And so police were called and everything. Like it was, but they left, of course. But like, it was crazy. So I'm asking the guy, I'm like, listen, so what happened? Like, he was like, she tried to take my post. And I was just like, did she know it was your post? He was like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I was like, wow. But I'm serious. Who are also, I'm not going to call them panhandlers, because this is an actual profession of theirs. It's not a profession. But for me, I got an inside scoop on it. And I don't want to tie everybody to this, because not everybody is, and not to get off topic of blessed, but not everybody's tied to this specific group of people, okay? The shady side, rather. Oh, okay. Those people giving out fruit newspapers on the street in Detroit? You know what I'm talking about.
We all know.
The bow tie guys? Yeah. Oh, no. The guy told me, he was like, guess how I bought my first house? No, I'm serious. They're there.
Yeah, they're working.
They're supposed to be given this money. This is supposed to go towards religious purposes. It's not. Like, this is going in their pockets. So they're buying the fruit. They're buying the newspapers from vendors or suppliers, and then they sell it themselves. But I'm not going to lie, that is like the best fruit I have ever had in my life. You can't go to a produce store and get this fruit. Like, it's crazy. I've never had this kind of...
You brave to have bought that. Because I'm sorry. I
he gave it to me for free.
Oh, okay.
Girl,
I'm like,
I told you I was posting. I told me adventures. Okay. Yeah, but he told me the whole water game is crazy too, because people who sell those 50-cent water bottles or $1 water bottles off the street, they're very territorial too. Like, they're very territorial. So if you're on Mac and 75, that's like a money spot. He said, or 8 Mile in Southfield, money spot. Grand River in Southfield.
I took that way today, and the same people with that little that belt, that wrestling belt, they be holding it, always there collecting money. Yeah, or it be a football team.
Yes.
Like this morning I saw a lady here, and I'm like, do they just be like hogging this corner? Like, why they always
territorial?
There?
They're very territorial. So if that's a big money corner. Say if you trying to sell water, or your kids, a football team trying to sell water, and that's old man Jim's spot, like, you're not gonna take that spot, because he might be crazy. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, that water. He said that's how he bought his first house, is selling waters off the street, and then he got into the whole bean pie business.
Well, I mean, I guess if you think about it, a 24-pack of water, you pay like $4-5 for it. You charge everybody $1. That's almost a $20 profit.
Right, absolutely.
It is. That's why I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? How many people would recognize me, though, if I was on the side? But
I ain't got the patience for that.
No. Yes, you would if you made that money in an hour on a 90-degree day. I'm telling you, you're like, you would make it.
Water on the street. It ain't even gonna be cold.
But you would stop for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop for me.
You would stop. See, I was telling the old man, okay? I was like, you know what I would do? I would put a sign saying, student loans, please help. You know how many people would stop and understand that?
I'm not mad at it.
Understand that. He was like,
they like, here you go, sis. I feel you.
Yeah, they like, shit, I need to come and do me one.
Right.
Do you see what you know how much money you could get?
Okay, now I would stand outside for that
people
one.
making money, yeah.
We could do that when we're trying to fundraise for a specific cause, though. But no, I'm just saying. Oh, rent's due on the 1st and it's the 28th. You would stand outside for that.
A couple packs of water with your bridge card.
Right. I'm $100 short.
That's 100%
I got these
profit.
4 cases. I'm $100 short.
But you know what? Those people are blessed. They really are blessed.
Absolutely.
I think it's a blessing to be able to come up with ideas and be able to financially gain off of it.
Exactly.
talk about
Until
it?
police shut you
Yeah.
down.
Can we talk about the ingenuity of Black people?
Yes.
Okay? Because that's really what it is. And that's what I'm hearing.
It's February 3rd,
being,
girl.
Come on now, happy
Yes.
Black History Month.
Period.
Being able to get out there and make it happen by any means necessary. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is that you're doing, I will say, though we are some of the most, devalued and under marginalized group of people, we are also the most creative, the most intuitive, the most ingenuitive, because we have had to be, right?
had to.
We've grown up with the lack of resources that caused us to get out here and be like,
And
okay, well,
create
what
your
can I
own.
do?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, to make this happen. What can I do to, I tell, we got so many uncertified skillsmen. Okay. In
That
the
mechanic.
hood, we do.
Bro.
We do. Like, but when you look at it, so granted, those same resources or those programs or, whatever it is that other people may have been privileged to, though we didn't have that, we still have. There was this one guy, okay? He was like a family friend, all right? And, he did not have a place of residence, right? We could pull up on a particular corner where this liquor store was, this convenience store, and he will always be there. We will pull up, call out his name, like, hey, we got some problems with the car. Okay, my mama need help with hers. You know what I mean? Like, just sideline mechanics, but brain just work like this, just work like that, right? So, I wish that there were a way that we could spotlight, just more of the ingenuity that we have within our inner cities. And that's not just Detroit, but that's all inner cities around the world.
Yeah.
And even just looking overseas and within third world countries, like the things that these people are creating out of absolutely nothing is so it speaks volumes, not only when you have someone who is blessed and fortunate enough to, come out of those situations, but when you consider them compared to their counterpart, it's like you standing side by side, you know what I mean, with someone who did not have those same struggles or those same, situations that you had to come through. So I think it speaks volumes on a person's character, to just be able to, like, oh yeah, and I ain't had, no food to eat at night. And I went multiple days without hot water, without heat, without electricity. But, I was outside by the street, like, you know what I mean, getting my homework done. It's like, well, what can you say to that,
Building character.
Yes.
You can't, man. One movie that I always go back to and I look at, and then I always do a lot of self-reflection on my life. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises. Oh my goodness. Okay. I got kids, y'all, pray for me. But yes. I always use this in that metaphor that it had, or that it was giving off, the example of triumph and resilience, because here this guy he was put in a pit, and it was a prison, and for him, his way of getting out, he couldn't get out unless he risked it all to get out. Yeah. And so it got to the point where they had to tell him that, the person who made it before him, because he was like, he was just a child. How did he make it? But we can't make it, they said that, this person, they came from the struggle. This person didn't have a safety net. They had no choice but to make it out.
Yeah.
And so when a lot of people come from places like that and they make it, or whatever their definition of success is, and they get to that point where they make it to that point, says a lot about them. Absolutely. And I love that movie for that specific reason, because I'm like, oh man, I just want to watch the part where he make it, because it's like, and then the theatrical music comes on, and you just like, you know what?
I was saying that all Super Bowl weekend, like, I'm always rooting for the underdog.
You know what? Yes. Go Chiefs, right?
Can we talk about how blessed is more of like a mindset?
Yes.
And that's how you manifest it. Instead of just like, blessings aren't just material things, or like, oh, I got this. But it's like a mindset you have no matter your circumstance.
Yes.
I think that a lot of people, they like to put labels on things.
Oh, for sure.
So they may not know what it feels like to be blessed unless
they have those things.
Exactly. Like, because I could tell you, like, I'm more blessed today than I was yesterday.
Amen.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had the sniffles yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just being funny. But
Yeah.
today we don't. But no, I just feel like a lot of people, I feel like you can't really define, you could just be thankful, like there's a definition, there's a definitive answer for that. It's just, I don't think that you can really put it into words what blessed is unless you're describing yourself.
Agreed.
Because everyone has a different perception of blessed.
Yeah.
Well, I think most people think of blessed at least as positive, something
Oh,
positive.
oh, it better be.
I think
I
I think
wanna say
everybody,
that.
so I think
It
like
better be.
everybody can agree on the fact that like a blessing
Something positive
is positive,
happened.
whether it's a positive attitude or positive happenings. Yeah.
Girl, I don't know, because some people perceptions be like so backwards.
I
That
will
is
say in
true.
today's society, when we look at maybe I'm trying to think of what I can call it. Maybe a sense of like false gratitude or false, because we live in an age where so many people are putting on these facades, right?
There you
Everyone is
go.
walking around wearing this mask, and it's like, oh, okay, living my best life, too blessed to be
Yeah.
stressed, and so now that creates this image of what blessed looks like, right? Kind of what you were
Yes.
hinting at,
Yeah.
yeah. So you have people that are striving for these, fictitious goals or ideas, not understanding what it means truthfully to them, right? So I think that's a huge consideration, and just understanding what does that look like to you, or what does that mean to you? What does that feel like to you? Understanding how you are blessed within your own, within your own life, within your own circumstances, and that is not caused by external factors or influencers, right?
It's like the idea or definition of happy. What makes a person happy? Because if you're not self-fulfilled, I guess, then you probably won't be happy. If it doesn't come from within, rather.
Yeah. Internal versus external, right?
Yeah, because people look for people to make each other happy, and it's just like, but
No, you're going for
Work
a
on
rude
your
awakening.
happiness.
You are in control of your own happiness.
Do you
Come
know?
on, come
Do you
on.
know?
That other person, that's too big of a job.
It is.
Come on now.
It is.
You can't even satisfy yourself fully. How you think somebody, another individual,
and
It's
them.
supposed
with their
to.
own wants and needs is gonna satisfy you?
They gonna always get it
Completely.
wrong, come up short. Dollar short.
$50 short.
I know.
$100 short. Eviction
Right.
notice short. Sure,
Everything.
Okay.
But let me give you guys this other person's testimony too, because there was two. Detroit Free Press, the janitor there. Oh my God, I do not remember his name,
Okay,
but
that's
his
fine.
story just inspired the heck out of me, right?
Okay.
And I think it just gave me humility.
Okay.
The idea of humility. He told me a story about, and now again, this is while he's squeegeeing the windows.
He's working.
I know, right? So we're talking, I'm the doorman at this time. The doorman job, that one, right?
For a day.
I know. I didn't even last longer than a day.
It happens.
It was cool though. It was cool. I got to meet a lot of people, as we said. Got to network. So I'm at the Detroit Free Press building, and literally there's this guy I'm talking to, just making friendly conversation with, and he goes and he tells me about a time where his manager pulled him to the side after work. He thought he was in trouble. He was like, hey, yeah, what's up? He was like, this wasn't just like my everyday supervisor. He said, this was my manager. Like, this was, he came up to me. And I started, nervous for a second, because he goes and he says, listen, after work, we're going to have, I don't know. He tried to make it where they didn't tell him where they were going exactly. But he was like, yeah, we're going to go somewhere, and we kind of need you to come with. And he was just like, well, I have plans with my wife, and I kind of need to talk to her about that first, or maybe we can reschedule. And he was just like, no, you might want to come with. You might want to call her and tell her you're going to be late. And he was like, but I don't have clothes. I can just go home, get dressed real quick, come back. And he was like, nah, we don't have time for that. And he was just like, well, okay. So he called his wife, told her he was going to be late. and he goes. He said they had black SUVs drive him and a few other people out to the airport, and the Detroit airport. And he said they go to the Detroit airport. He still don't know where they're going, right? He said, in comes Dan Gilbert. They all go to a private plane, and they go and they fly to Cleveland to the stadium. They go to the stadium, and he said Dan Gilbert flew him and a few coworkers out to his, to see the Cleveland Cavaliers play. Try saying that 10 times fast. Cleveland Cavaliers, right?
Cavaliers.
I can't. Shut up.
No, I had to think it.
So he went there. He got to sit court row. And then he said they also took him back to the suites where they got to eat and everything. And then,
ain't no game. You ain't experienced a true basketball game till you got to go eat in the suites. Okay,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say courtside, but yes,
Well,
and no
yeah,
executive
but no,
suites.
oh
Yes.
my God,
we still getting there, okay?
Okay, keep
We
going,
trying to catch
sorry.
up to y'all blessings.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Shoot, he blessed.
He blessed, right?
Blessed.
So he tells me that they flying back out after they ate, and they gave him memorabilia and all of the good stuff. He goes, he came back out, came back home, and that's how he, that was his day. And I was just like, that was on a regular Tuesday? Like, really? Is the janitor? Like, And so I was just looking at, first of all, shout out to Quicken Loans or Dan Gilbert for hooking his employees up, even down to the janitor, because that's a blessing, for everyone to be appreciated and valued within a company. I was like, wow, that's different. I've never heard a story like that before. Usually you hear about the execs making their way to the games. They get tickets, or people higher up, or maybe even people in the call center, but you never hear about the janitor, getting that kind of a blessing.
Yeah.
So he said that to me, and that just sat with me. I was like,
Wow. Although the only thing that's like going off in my head is like my boss would have had to give me a better answer to call my wife, but I can't be like I'm gonna be late.
He didn't tell her.
Yeah.
He didn't even know where he was going.
Yeah, I know, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, your boss did what? You better come home. So shout out to her for not blocking his blessing.
Okay, come on,
Because for real now, you better cut that location on. Why you at the airport? And I'm not with you. Okay.
Keep going. Okay.
Shout out to him
Shout out
and
to
her,
him,
though.
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that he was, there was a lot of trust that went on in that. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
You had to trust your
Yeah.
management and your
Absolutely.
supervisors, because
Yeah. Because I'd have been, where we going?
I think once he got to the airport, it was cool because you see him. You know what I mean? And, and it was
yeah.
official because he said he had black SUVs, like a bunch of them.
Well, that would freak me out too.
I know.
I done seen
nervous.
too many
Being
Italian
deported or
moms.
something.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is this the FBI?
Well, we got all these black
The
trucks. What?
You know?
So what we doing here?
Yeah.
Who was that in the truck?
Who all going?
That was somebody else using my IP address. It wasn't me.
Exactly.
It must have been like he probably saw a couple of coworkers that he recognized too.
Yeah.
Maybe the other person.
No, that
on
is
the
a beautiful
side.
thing to do.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I needed to share that because I'm like, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
shout out to him though. Thank you, Jesus, for him. We still not on that level though. What time is it?
Oh, you talk about like being able to bless people to that extent.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be
Well, we're gonna get there.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Well,
Yeah,
I was just
absolutely.
asking like for
Which
understanding
level?
of what
Oh
you
no,
said.
I was talking about we not on the sweet level. Y'all tripping.
Oh, I've been to a suite once because like coworkers couldn't make it and gave us the tickets.
Hey.
And oh my God, I was like, I don't think I can go to another game and be regular again.
You know what? But I think that's how it starts, though. I was looking up groups like for suites because they you could throw parties
Yeah,
and
you
then
can.
people would have to
And book
pay
it.
so much. Yeah. So, but I would need everybody to be on board. I couldn't just throw drop that kind of money for a suite and then somebody back out a week before or a couple of days before because
You know
now we
how
still
that
got to
be.
pay the rest of
Yeah.
that deposit.
Yeah, no, it got to be
You know?
payments collected
Before
in
I
advance.
even book it.
Yes, in advance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that so there's usually two opportunities where we get or two times that we get those opportunities. But and it's through one of two of my jobs. One is Chrysler, we always do, so we'll book out the executive suites and everything, and that's always a great time. And networking, mix and mingle.
Bless.
But so also the Army and the Pistons, they do what's called Hoops for Troops.
Nice.
So some
Blessed.
time ago, and yes, this was a blessing. Some time ago, they sent out a mass email to the group. They said, "Hey guys, Hoops for Troops is coming up. If any soldiers would like to go down to the game, we got an array of tickets. But there was one particular night that they were honoring some veterans there, and it was around Veterans Day." And they said on that night, if you select to go on that day, you must come in uniform, right? So my battles and we go down there, and we drove from like Grand Rapids, because that's where our unit is, and we're like, okay, all right, we getting ready for the Pistons game. We in here, let's get it. And so the seats were not ideal seats, right? Because they were free, but we appreciate the offer. We're glad to be here. Now, and this was right before they moved to LCA, so they were at the Palace, so a couple years. So so myself and another battle, we go out to get our concessions. We're in line, and there's another gentleman and his son, and he he stops us and he says, thank you for your service, and he coaches his young son to say the same. This is what you do when you see service members. You let them know that you thank them for their service. So he does that. He asks us, while I have you guys, where are you sitting? You guys are watching the game, right? And we let him know, we're up in section, whichever section. Use the binoculars, you'll see us. So he says, well, how about this? I had some friends that were going to be meeting me here at the game tonight. They're not going to be able to make it. Since you're here, I would love for you and your comrade to come down and join us. Okay, sure. That absolutely. Okay, cool. So, just follow me. Don't worry about anything else. Follow me. We walk down through, the different levels to get down to the main level, and we're walking to our seats, and they're literally courtside seats, right?
Wow.
So, and I mean, we're sitting like Westbrook was a person over from me. A person over, right?
Yeah.
So it was just such an awesome and phenomenal opportunity. And then we were able to also, salute the older veterans that they were honoring down there as well.
Nice.
And, they did a huge shout out for all of the service members that were in the building and those that were in uniform for Hoops for Troops. And it was only about 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
And, did the screens for all of the service members and on the building that were that were there. But it was just such a blessed opportunity to be able to see, like, okay, this is what it looked like from the other side, and then see like the court side buffet area and all of that stuff. But just common everyday people like that.
Yeah.
But not only that, the fact that what I loved most about it was that he was showing this to his son.
I love
right?
that.
Teaching his son, like, this is how you bless others. This is how you look out for people. If you have the chance to pay it forward, that's what you do.
Pay it forward.
Right? Yeah. So, and I mean, little lessons like that go such a long way. There's no telling how many people, that guy, his son will grow and, to bless as well, right?
Look at
so,
you
shout out
walking
to-
into blessing.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Shout out to God.
Walking into
Come
a lot of
on.
blessings too, Myisha.
Who, me?
Yes, girl.
on.
You be talking to people. How many jobs and how many things we done
Networking.
came in clutch with because you opened the mouth God blessed you with
Come on,
and be
Myisha.
networking,
I
okay?
talk a lot. I do.
No, not that you talk a lot. You talk when you talk, it's productive. You
Yeah.
get stuff done.
Yeah.
You make
Man,
things
we've
go.
been in so many places. First of all, this brand ambassador job, they don't always supply everybody with what, So like, say the booth next to us might get food vouchers, and now we gotta pay $20 per whatever. And so, I mean, sometimes you gotta finesse it. You might
Go ahead, Myisha.
talk
Walk
to the
into
next
your
person.
blessing, okay? Myisha.
Sometimes you gotta trade, or sometimes you just
Barter,
gotta
barter.
talk
Yeah.
and be nice to people. I
Yes.
feel like the most 90, or we say about 80% of the time, it's just being nice to people.
Yeah.
It's literally just as simple, hey, or just acknowledging the security guard,
Yeah.
Oh,
or
yeah.
just
'Cause we
acknowleding.
done got into VIP. We
Yes,
got food.
we
was supposed to
listen.
have. Girl, she be walking us into some blessings, okay?
We've
now.
been doing some stuff.
Yes.
But man, that's how we met too.
Yeah.
Grand Prix. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We go back. We go whole back.
I'm so happy.
I know, but I love the idea of, like you said, walking into blessings, because God just put you in the right place
Yep,
at the right time.
in the right line. Imagine if
Yeah.
y'all went to the other line.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or how many people that, because you said it was a troop night, how many other
Yeah.
people that he had talked to or before he even got to
Yeah.
you know.
And there was something that was in that conversation, and you're absolutely right, and especially what you're saying about MeShawn, as far as, you know, like your tongue can be such a blessing, and you don't know what you might say that may spark another person to be like, you know what,
Yeah.
just come with me, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's
Yeah.
power in the
That
tongue.
does happen.
Yes.
But I think we got to wrap it up.
right.
Right now, we're going to have to wrap up this blessing because I really love this topic. Y'all don't understand because it just
Yeah.
makes me happy. I know Myisha, she out here stunting on everybody today.
Oh, live your life, girl.
Did we mention that? Oh, she got a new car and she felt the need to bless other people
yeah.
when she got a new car. And I'm like, I love that
Yes.
because when you get something, it's not just enough when you get something. You're happy, you're excited, but you want to make other people happy or you want to help other people out. And I love that. You know, the way
Yeah.
she did it was just wonderful. I even told her, I was like, girl, you out here?
And like I didn't have much. It's just like I had let a few people loan money, and they was sitting in
Yeah.
my Cash App, and because I was holding it just in case they needed it again.
You know?
But I was like,
That petty
you know
cash
what?
account.
Petty cash.
I was like, you
Come
know
through.
what? Let me bless some people. You know, let me fill that gas tank up for the week or something. 'Cause I was like, I
Yeah.
would love if someone did that for me. And I'm like, I want
Exactly.
to buy people cars, but I can't afford to do that right now. You know, I barely got my car.
Listen, you
So let
about
me
to get
some
that
people some
raised
gas,
anyway.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
God is
Claim
blessing
it.
me
Claim
to
it.
just let it stop at me. God is blessing me so that I can send it forth and let His love touch somebody else's life.
Yeah.
So
And I love that. I love
Yeah.
that both of you guys are so giving and so, like, I don't even think we scratched the surface of everything that you've done. You've already told us that you've given back in so many ways, including giving back to your country.
yeah,
So,
I didn't even know that. I'm over here
you
like
know.
impressed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
you know, and I just love that, and that's rewarding in itself. I feel like, you know, when you're out here giving, because I don't think it's just about being blessed. I don't think it, you know,
Yeah.
because that's just a part of it, you know.
Yeah.
But the idea of giving, that should be another topic
Being
too.
blessed to
you
be a
know,
blessing.
being
Yes,
right,
yes.
being blessed to
That's
be a
what it
blessing.
is.
There you go. Hashtag right. But anyway, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Myisha. Thank you so much, Henreatta. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you, Myisha.
Thank you, MeShawn. Yes,
Air
the one and
hug.
only. The one and only.
Myisha.
I love
okay.
you guys.
Myisha Lewis.
Love you too, girl.
Love you.
Thank you guys for listening to Bread and Buttered, and have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.